Hi, hello, I'm back. Let's quickly just do a part 2 to my review last night. Because Pretty 3 fans are mad at me because I'm calling out the red flags that I'm seeing in this friendship right here. Yes, I'm saying Kold Killa and Fania are kind of running a little bit of a BS story here because I'm watching how much different they act together versus when K Rican is in the picture. Now, granted, K Rican was not there for most of the season last season because she was in jail or handling some legal stuff or whatever the case is. Cool. These two grew a stronger bond. I completely understand that. But then in this scene, they was literally acting like K Rican was they bitch, they bestie, like they all on the same level. But then when I see them act as far as like each other's beefs or who they fighting and whatever the case is, it's a different story. And I feel like last night's episode really invigorated that and proved that to me. K Rican was doing a lot of apologizing. And I felt like, sure, K Rican should have apologized because if these are really your bitches, you should not be taking that shit to the internet. You should be able to go to your homegirls and be like, yo, I didn't like that you did A, B, C, and XYZ. Or, yo, I felt offended that y'all didn't do this because of this scene here or when we was doing this or this fight was happening and you wasn't there. But da-da-da. You should be able to have that open conversation and open dialogue with your bitches, right? But Kold Killa and Fania, I don't even remember them even apologizing at all last night in that episode. It was more of like, well, you said this, and that makes me feel like this, but like we're homegirls. And it's like, that's not an apology. Because at the end of the day, y'all really watched that girl get beat on and spat on, and y'all did nothing about it. But let Fania get into a little bit of an argument with fucking Tavy. Kold Killa's right there, right? And they keep saying this story of like, yeah, when we was talking about this fight in the reunion, we said we wasn't gonna jump for each other, that we was gonna let each other handle each other's beef. But y'all definitely jumped. And I feel like Fania couldn't get the fair one fully with Tavy because Kold Killa kept jumping in, or it was vice versa. I mean, proof in the pudding, hello, they both jumped Tavy. But when Tavy started fighting K Rican, Fania and Kold Killa didn't feel like it was necessary for them to jump or try to sneak Tavy in this moment. Why is that? There's too many K's here. K Rican is fighting for y'all because y'all are her bitches. And when she's fighting for y'all left her out there by herself. But when Kold Killa is lining it up with Tavy, Fania deemed it necessary to jump in. When Fania was fighting Tavy, Kold Killa found it necessary to jump in. Why nobody jumped in when it was K Rican, the weakest fighter, versus Tavy? Like, even right here, when it was on the couch, Kold Killa fighting Tavy, K Rican tried to jump in until Big Legs grabbed her. Nobody jumped for K Rican. We literally watched K Rican get into several fucking fights that entire night to the point where I was like, girl, just give it a rest and sit down. All them girls did was say, pick your head up. Pick your head up. And then last night's episode, K Rican at the reunion, right? How many fights did she get into it with fucking Tinkerbella? And they had a legitimate beef because they was talking about each other's kids on Twitter. Did Kold Killa and Fania jump in? No, because, you can handle your own beef. You got this. Keep your head up. But we literally just sat here last night and watched Kold Killa in her confessionals say, I saw Tinkerbella trying to sneak Camilla, and if you were a real bitch, you would have just told her fight straight up. So, right, come on, let's get in here. Usha. So she attacked Tinka because she saw her trying to, quote unquote, sneak Camilla. And then after about 3 or 4 rounds, here come Fania talking about tag me in. Mind you, the basis of this fight, according to Kold Killa, was because she felt like Tinka was trying to sneak Camilla. Why nobody ain't say, well, tag me in, K Rican, since we doing all this, tag me in. Like, you saw Shorty get dog walked. Did y'all see her face after all of this? Neither one of y'all said tag me in or I'm jumping in because they did this. Matter of fact, let's double down. I would feel like they would have more of a reason to fight Tinka for K Rican than Camilla. Like, maybe I would have respected it more if Kold Killa was in her confessionals like, you know what? My homegirl said she felt the way that I didn't jump for her when it came to Tinka fucking Bella. And you know what? She's right. I take accountability for that. So I'm here to run it up with Tinka for my bitch, especially since Tinka has so much to say about me on the internet, so now this is gonna be a two-piece. I'm beating your ass for talking about me, and I'm beating your ass for my girl K Rican. I would have had a little bit more respect for that. But instead, you sat here and said you're gonna fight Tinka for Camilla, aka you're fighting Tinka for less than your fucking best friend who was getting her ass mollywopped by Tinka big ass. But y'all are trying to convince me that I'm wildin' for quote unquote picking and choosing, and whatever the case is, I'm not. Like, are y'all following my flow? Is 3 plus 3 making 6 for y'all? Or are y'all still trying to pick like 8 out of this? And then Fana just went on Twitter and responded to a fan who said Fana can fight Tinka for Kold Killa, but couldn't do the same thing for K Rican, yet they confused as to why she's mad. And then Fana's gonna say, I don't fight for Killa. I fought because she was throwing shots on the internet. So Fana is down to fight Tinka because she's running her mouth, supposedly. However, you couldn't run the fade with Tinka after she was mollywopping your friend over and over again. And according to you in your confessional, once again, what did you say when you saw Kold Killa fighting Tinka? Killa, tag me in. You was down to tag yourself in for your friend who was getting tired of fighting Tinka, but you couldn't do that for K Rican?
On the fighting TV, you know how to get my head in. Yeah, bitch, watch out. Yeah, let them do their shit, but I had to get my shit in there. Oh my.
So we let each other fight our own battles one-on-one, no problem, because it's their beef, but we here for backup just in case, right? That's what they're saying. So why in that moment Fana couldn't just get her one off with Tavy without Kold Killa jumping in? Because if Kold Killa really wanted that, I don't think Tavy would have rejected the idea of fighting one and then the other. It seems like when it comes to Tavy, there's just this, like, y'all forget about this whole trip, like this whole pack that we have, because the real beef is centered around Fana and Tavy. Kold Killa is just like a bystander who's just fighting because that's Fana's her best friend. Let's just keep it a bean. Because when Fana and Tavy explain their beef, there's like stuff behind it, like, oh, I think Tavy being a dick rider, like she's not being a real friend, she's not doing this, she's not doing that. But when Kold Killa explains her beef when it comes to Tavy, it's just like, yeah, she's just mad we don't want to be her friend no more. She really ain't got no beef. She's just doing what it do, you know. So am I really wild to sit here and say like there's not a couple red flags with some of those interactions? Because once again, you're seeing Kold Killa and Fana go dumb hard for each other, but when it comes to K Rican and she's fighting for her friends, she's not getting the same energy back. So don't sit here and get mad at me because I'm just calling out what I'm seeing. And please exactly tell me, what am I picking and choosing on? Because if y'all about to try and sit here and talk about the big three, don't piss me off. Because Lex did try to stop Tasiki from fighting fucking Summer. Summer kept pushing it because Summer don't know when to shut the hell up because it's a fight that she really don't fucking want. She kept calling out the personal business that Krishan and Tasiki got with each other, and that's why she got her ass beat. And in the process of Big Lex and Dolly telling Summer to shut the hell up, Summer told both of them, shut the fuck up. So at what point, like we all watched the same show. I just don't get it. Y'all all collectively sat here and said, yeah, it's whenever Summer's doing something bad, you know, Big Dolly and fucking Big Lex be standing right there fighting with her and fighting for her. So y'all can admit that those three was in sync. But when these three are together and it's a little bit off, I'm wrong for saying like, oh, it feels like this is going to be a red flag later. Let's just call a spade a spade. And realistically, the pretty three and the big three are not the fucking same. These are two different fucking friend groups. No one in this group is a Summer. I just want to start there. Like, all of these bitches know when to shut the hell up. Summer didn't. Neither one of these three are starting beef to get the other people in more beef or more heat with the entire group. That's what Summer was doing with the big three. And like I said, I really do not hate the pretty three. I don't. But I can sit here as a fucking fan watching the show and be able to just kind of clock things that just look a little bit off. And yeah, sometimes when I watch them interact and K Rican's in the room, they do kind of treat her like the But then another thought that came to my head last night, follow me, hear me out. We've been seeing K Rican kind of nodding off on social media, like seem like she's doing some type of you know what. I wonder if like Kold Killa and Fana are like just a little off put by that, so they don't know how to necessarily treat her when it comes to that. Like, I'm gonna give them a little bit of grace because I wouldn't know how to like treat my girl either if I saw her acting like this, but she's hanging with us. But y'all gotta admit, there's something a little bit off about this group. You could call out your faves, it's alright. Just Be honest.